So my advice would be read and find within yourself the strength to come closer to a one God and seek to understand why we were sent here in the first place. Today, you and me, we're almost the same age. So let's just think about this. For example, my grandfather on my mother's side passed away in 2003. Now it's 2026. He's been lying in the grave for 23 years. And then there was his grandfather. Or let's say his great-grandfather, who also died and has been in the grave for over 100 years, roughly speaking. But what about people who died 2,000 years ago? They've been in the grave for 2,000 years. What's next? It's a good question, isn't it? They've just been in the grave all this time, and that's it. So what was the purpose of their life? A person has been in the grave for 2,000 years, but maybe lived for 70 years. Roughly speaking, let's say 100. They live for 100 years and have been in the grave for 2,000. So what matters more, those 100 years? Or these 2,000 years? And what happens after those 2,000 years end? People believe different things, whether there is a day of judgment or not. That's where the difference lies between a believer and a non-believer. After everyone is resurrected, there will be the day of judgment. There will be judgment, and after that, people will enter eternity. Eternity, compared to eternity, what are 2,000 years? They're nothing. And we live for, let's say, 70 years. And many people choose those 70 years over eternal life. And if a person understands that these 70 years they have here, roughly speaking 70 or 80 years, are meant to be used to prepare for what comes after, so that when the day of judgment arrives, and after that judgment they can live forever, not in hell, but in heaven. If that becomes their ultimate goal, then they will strive to do good deeds, because they will fear the day of judgment. And that's really what life is about, preparing yourself for the day of judgment.
That's true. To truly understand life and its deeper meaning, you have to think about eternity. Only then can you really understand your role.
Actually, it can keep a person away from evil. And it can stop them from treating other people badly. It can hold a person back. But if you don't have that understanding, if a person lives completely convinced that there's nothing after death, what's there to stop him from doing evil? Just like that. What do you think? And on top of that, an even more dangerous combination. You become powerful, wealthy, and you become famous. What now? Suddenly every door is open to you. Just imagine a person like that. And on top of all that, he doesn't believe in the day of judgment. He doesn't believe he'll be held accountable for his actions. That's, it's like a nuclear bomb. He can end up causing harm to people everywhere. But if you know that for everything you have here, you'll eventually have to answer, that there will be a day of judgment and that you'll be called to account. And if you fail that test, will burn in hell forever. That'll make you rein yourself in a little. You'll have to take that into consideration. You'll have to tighten things up a little. You'll begin to understand that you're not nearly as important as the image you've created of yourself in your own mind. You start becoming more, as Americans say, down to earth.
Yes.
You become more grounded. You're not flying, you're walking on the ground.
You once put it beautifully. You can allow money and fame to stay in your hand, but not in your heart.
Yes.
You've still got many years ahead of you, but you're already an example of someone who's become famous, made money, and remained the same person.
If money stays in your hands and not in your heart, that's a good thing. But the moment it gets into a person's heart, it corrupts them.
Yeah.
Once it's there, it's very difficult to pull it out of your heart. If you have wealth in your hands and use it properly, for good causes, for the right purposes, for people in need, for your family, relatives, friends, people from your hometown. That's a good thing. But as soon as that wealth gets into your heart, it becomes very difficult to share it with others. And this is a very dangerous place for a person to end up. And I'm sorry, but as a believer, I believe that most people in hell will be wealthy.
One of the reasons millions of people find you so interesting to watch is that you're constantly growing. First, you were a great fighter. Now you're becoming a leader. Your wisdom it keeps increasing. You're evolving as a person, but still the core values remain. It's good to see, inspiring for people. Money and fame haven't changed you. You're just growing as a human being, as you always have.
I hope it's in the right direction. It's just, the thing is, people only see the good. They don't see the bad.
True.
And we all have the good side and the bad side. Everyone, sadly. And especially when it comes to celebrities, we only show the best side of ourselves. Even when you post photos, you only post the good ones, the pictures where you look your best. So I hope that the way people see me, as you pointed out, is the way I really am. Because it's difficult to judge yourself objectively. You're always biased when it comes to yourself. That's how it is. We tend to think highly of ourselves, right? You can't really see yourself objectively. We hide our flaws and put our best qualities on display. Sometimes people even start believing in a fake version of themselves. For me, I try to stay on the honest path throughout my life, to remain true to who I really am, and to show my true self to people. Maybe not everyone agrees with my behavior, my opinions, my worldview, or my attitudes toward sports, religion, and other things. Not everyone shares my views. Not everyone is a fan of mine. There are people who, let's say, see me very differently. So I've tried, I continue to try to be who I am. That's all. And I hope that my ending will be a good one too. Well, at least that's my hope.
You've stayed the same, but you've also grown. I mean, today you even managed to say something nice about Barca. So see, that's progress.
Yeah.
Well done.
Come on, without Barcelona, there wouldn't be Real Madrid. If the Spanish league didn't have either Real Madrid or Barcelona, it just wouldn't be the same. They've been competing against each other for how many years? 120. It's hard to imagine Barcelona and Real Madrid without each other. And so is the Spanish league without that rivalry.
Yes.
It's impossible to imagine. So yeah, we have to give you some credit. But Real Madrid is the royal club. Come on. It's the best.
Yeah.
And
thanks to both of them, we've been able to enjoy truly incredible football for so many years.
For so many years, yeah.
Khabib, brother, I don't even have the words to explain how honored I am that you're here talking with me today and showing me so much warmth. There's no way to fully express what you mean to millions of your fans around the world, including me. Thank you so much for everything. Thank you for this conversation.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Lex.